our days, stitched together in so many ways, with every thread our lives entwine.
Hello, everybody. Hi. How are y'all doing? I'm going to sound a little funny today. I'm getting over a cold. I'm feeling much, much, much better, but I just had a coughing spell, so hopefully that's done for a little bit. Hi, everybody. It's so great to see you. This week we released clue number 12 of Festive Fancywork, and I have all my blocks here. Do you want to see them? I have not put together my row yet. Before we do, hi everybody. Thanks for hanging out with me. You could be doing a million other things, and you're hanging out with me and everybody here. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And I also appreciate my moderator, Miss Mimsy. Thank you so much. While we're speaking of thanks, I just want to wish everybody a wonderful Thanksgiving. We're not going to be live next week, so I'm going to miss you, and I probably won't see you before then. So I just want to say happy Thanksgiving, and just know that I am thankful for all of you, and I count my blessings every day. I really honestly do. All right, I'm going to try not to lose my voice. Before we move on, before we just take a close-up look at these, let me pull up on the screen our progress of this quilt so far. It's a sweater. It's a sweater. Thank you so much. Yeah, so we have the Christmas trees, we have hearts, we have the reindeer, and at the very bottom of this picture, you're gonna see some like little dashes. Below those little dashes, there's one more motif, if you will, or design of this quilt top, and that'll start revealing itself with clue number 13, if you can guess what it is with clue number 13. So that's exciting, right? I'm having so much fun with this. It's actually like each week it takes me about 20 minutes roughly to stitch one of these blocks. And so once I get to stitching the pixels, I multitask and do other stuff. But I know that it's like a designated hour and a half, 2 hours roughly, maybe, that I can multitask. Wool and mohair. Hi. They said theirs is a work in progress with the 6th row. Wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. I also wanted to show you before we move on. Terry sent me a picture of her cross-stitched Festive Fancy Work last night, and so I'd like to share that. Doesn't this look like so much fun? I think I would love to try this, but I definitely need new glasses before I attempt any more handwork. I finished up binding by hand, which that would be the last quilt I ever do with a hand-sewn binding. But I struggled so much, and I've been saying it for a little while. I need new glasses, but it's just taking the time to go do that. Do you know what I mean? But I would love to try this. But I was struggling to see the thread. I was struggling to see everything. Well, I mean, I don't think it helped that I was doing it at night and the lighting was not that fantastic. And I was using black thread on a black binding and a navy dark background color for the back of the quilt. So everything was just hard to see. And I struggled so much with it, but I got it done. What size is the fabric cloth? You know what, Kim? She told me, give me a second, because I can pull up her message. It wouldn't take but a second to do that, because she did tell me. Let me go back. Okay, it is. I found it. She's using 14 count Ada white fabric. The floss color she's using is Bing Cherry, and she's using 2 strands over 1 square, which does not make any sense to me, but if you're a cross stitcher, you know exactly what I just said, right? Don't we all have sort of our own languages and all of our genres of stuff we do? I'm sure that made sense to somebody. But I think she said it's going to finish at 6 inches by 6 inches, so tiny. Donna said, are we meeting tonight? Well, Donna, you know what? I've thought about it. I wasn't going to say anything because I didn't want to commit. I have 2 big quilts I have to get binding done. I don't know if I want to commit. I'm actually feeling a little tired. Today I've quilted a quilt and finished doing the last edits on my angel design and stitched another one of those out. I've walked with the dogs about 400 times today, and even though I have a lot to do tonight, I don't know that I'm gonna do any of it. I'm starting to get tired. Do you know what I'm saying? But there's tomorrow. So my plan, is finish up stuff today, Saturday, and Sunday. And then Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, it's time to start setting all this stuff up. I've already started that, but it's still a lot to put up. And then, like, there's no information on any of this stuff. So I'm going to make little tags explaining what everything is. And that's going to take a minute. And Thanksgiving is Thursday, so I need to go shopping for that. And, but finish what I can today, tomorrow, and Sunday. And, it will be what it is. Wanda said, is the angel design going to be in your Etsy? Yes. I'll show it here in just a second. Mimsy says she's lucky her husband does the meals and shopping. Yes, that is lucky. That is lucky. Let's come down to my desk. I'll show you these blocks because I wanted to talk about this for a second too. We were doing our Patreon, one of our 6 quilt retreats on Patreon this month. Night before last or Tuesday night, I'm forgetting what night it was. And Daniel was there, and Daniel is doing the embroidered version also. And he's using, I think it's a blue background fabric and a metallic thread for his pixels, and it is gorgeous. If you're on Creative Crew, he has shared pictures of it over there. And we were talking, and I was not feeling good, so I was just, nothing was registering what he was saying. But one of the things he was talking about was he's using a metallic thread for his pixels. And we have pixels that go right up to the very edge adjacent to that small 1/4 inch seam allowance, right? And so I've noticed this with my quilt, and this is not metallic thread, so I can only imagine the thickness of the seam, or how difficult it would be to flatten that seam once you've joined your blocks together and pressed that seam, how difficult it is to get it nice and flat, right? So we were talking, and he had mentioned that now I have a basting box or a tack down stitch for your batting. And then I go in, I tack my batting down, remove the hoop, and then trim up my batting. And doing it that way was leaving, and it does, a small, you're not going to see because the light is so bright. It leaves just the smallest little smidgen of batting beyond the seam allowance. Now it's great because you don't, most of the seam allowance doesn't have the batting, but there's still like a hair's worth of batting right there, and it's sewn down in that stitch right there, right? And so he was trying to explain to me like a thought process he had, and it just wasn't registering until I went to stitch clue number 12, and I was like, you know what, I think that this was what he was talking about. And I did it, and I agree with Daniel. It does make, it eliminates any little hair of batting in that seam allowance. So before I even started, I pre-cut my batting squares just shy of 5 inches. And so that very first tack down stitch is just the box. I did that on the naked stabilizer and used it as a position stitch and laid that just shy of 5-inch batting square centered right in the middle of it, and went on with all the other steps. And it really did eliminate any batting in this seam allowance whatsoever. And so I haven't joined the blocks together yet to see if it makes any difference for me, but I'm thinking it might. And I sure hope it helps him with his metallic thread, but I do think it helped a lot. So I was really glad he shared that. So my cat's walking around right outside the window. He wants me to let him in. That cat runs in inside this house 500 times a day. It would drive my Nana nuts. She always used to fuss, stop running in and out of the house, right? My cat runs in and out of the house 500 times a day. He wants you to let him out. 10 minutes later, he walks around and he wants you to let him in. In and out, in and out. So all of this is really not going to fit in here. And we already know that this is hearts, right? That was clue 11. Basically week 11, right? Y'all, we've been doing this for 12 weeks. Can you believe it? I'm just going to put this one, even though this is one long continuous row. You won't be able to see it if I lay it out that way. There we go. Davy says, you really need a trimmer by George. I don't know what a trimmer by George is, but I have a pair of curved long scissors. And when I tell you I can get right up close to that stitch, I can. But they're still even just a smidgen beyond it. It's just a hair's worth, but it is enough to make a difference. I'll have to look up what a trimmer by George is. By George, I ought to look that up. Right. So there are the blocks for this week. There are the blocks for this week. And don't forget, next week there will be no clue. So I'm just gonna keep the week 12 up free for the next week. So yeah, if you come here next Friday looking for me, I'm gonna be hopefully busy showing people my studio. Can you use a scant 1/4 inch? When piecing these together, you sure can. It's still not going to limit you. You still have this. Do you know what I'm saying? And I guess unless you're sewing these together, it really makes no sense what I'm talking about. But if you were to sew if you were to make 2 of these and then try to join them and then press that seam, then I think it would make a lot of sense. Do you know what I'm saying? If you used a scant 1/4 inch, when you open this up, there's going to be a gap between your pixels. See what I'm saying? So I'm just going to do a scant 1/4 inch and just hold that there. See that tiny little gap between the pixels? And we really, I mean, you could have a gap there if you wanted, but for the design to be complete and full, you really don't want that gap there. Kay has a trimmer by George and she loves it. Donna has a trimmer by George. It works fantastic. I use it with all my tile scenes. Everybody has a trimmer by George but me. All right, I'm going to write down, look into a trimmer by George. I used to work with a guy named George. We had the best time. Trimmer by George. I'm going to look it up this evening. And who knows, maybe by the time we come back live, I also will have a trimmer by George. While we're here at my desk, let me show you my angel. Oh, shoot. Hold on, I lost one. Okay, I found it. Okay, so I have 3 angels to show you. These are my progresses. Each one is slightly different, but the one I'm going to show you on the board is still drying. Is my final. But isn't she so pretty? I decided a couple weeks ago, last year I released the freestanding lace angel ornament, and that came up in my memories. You know how Facebook shows your memories, flashes? That showed up a couple weeks ago. I was like, you know what? I should make it like a tradition. Every year I release a new angel ornament. And so I drew this one, and I've been working on editing the digitizing. And so those are pretty, right? I'm going to put those in my tour. Even though they were like my first mock-ups, I can show you what's wrong with them, but it would be for learning purposes only. You really have to like really know what to look for to see what's wrong with these two. Do you know what I mean? But they are gorgeous, right? And then I fixed those little problems, and here's my final edit. It's still drying, but while it's still wet, I like to pin it because the circle shape, once you put this in the water soluble, it wants to like curl up into a bowl shape. And so I pat it dry with paper towels, and then I lay it flat and I shape it just like you would a crocheted granny square. And then once it's dry, you can unpin it and it keeps its shape, right? Isn't that pretty? Now, Donna, do you see the metallic silver wings and the metallic gold halo and trumpets and a metallic green dress? You were on my mind all day today as I stitched that out. But everything stitched perfectly. The little things that were wrong with it, I have tweaked and fixed, and it is ready. I just don't know that I have time to list it this weekend. So, but yeah, that's coming as soon as I get a chance to do that. Kay says the trimmer by George is sold by the Hoop Sisters. That's good to know. Hoop. Sisters. Now I know exactly where to go instead of having to try and find it. What is the round board name? This is a blocking board for crochet and knitting by Lori Holt. And I don't sell them. I'm not an affiliate with them. I'm a customer. And I bought a couple of these boards. I don't even know how long ago. But if you go to beesinmybonnet.co.blogspot.com, I'm sure you can find them. They are really handy if you block a lot of stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like a squishy, firm foam board. It's really thick. And it's square on the other side. See that? So yes, those are the latest things I've been doing. Yeah, so last Saturday night I started getting a cold. And I'm like, well, so it started with Harlan the week before, and he was sick for a few days, and then my parents, my dad started feeling bad, then my mom, and then me last Saturday night. And tomorrow night it will be a whole week. Although I do feel a lot better. Now, I really don't have much more to talk about. So, y'all remember back in the day of COVID, and we were going live every day, and we had little prompts to talk about. With Thanksgiving coming up, I thought, you know what? I know I'm going to run out of things to talk about real fast today. So, I'm going to put a little prompt up on the screen. I want you to tell me, what is your favorite Thanksgiving food? Don't you think Thanksgiving food is some of the best food all year round? My dad was gonna cook, and he was sick, so he canceled on us. If I took some melatonin, I would be asleep for 48 hours. I really would, and I've got too much to do. But it sounds lovely. Turkey. Mary Jo said turkey. Lindsay says turkey, barley soup, and pumpkin pie. Stuffing. I love some stuffing. Darlene said homemade noodles with gravy. So Darlene said that last night, and now I've been wanting to make noodles. Is it just regular like egg pasta noodles? That's what I was confused about. But I was also trying to finish my quilt and my projects, so I didn't ask a bunch of questions, Darlene. But what kind of noodles is it? Dressing and ambrosia. Wanda says cheesy squash bake with crumbled crackers on top. Yum. Chrissy says cakes and apple pie. Kimberly says sausage dressing and turkey. Daniel says next day turkey soup. I hope we have so much leftovers. Turkey salad sandwiches. Yes. Oh, yes, that sounds good. Love the squash. I have a sneeze coming. Just to let you know. Maybe I can block it. Now, you know what? I'm really disappointed in y'all. Y'all have said some really delicious things. Y'all have said some stuff. It's making me hungry. But not one of y'all said a green bean casserole. Not one person said green bean casserole. Yes, send me your grandmother's recipe for the noodles. I would love to try it. Oh, a special birthday to Lance. Tell him I said happy birthday. Mimsy, you've never had a green bean casserole, and all of y'all are saying yuck and yucky. What? How are we best friends? I don't know how. Y'all don't like the green bean casserole? So mine is a little bougie because I make my cream of mushroom soup from scratch and then use green beans that we canned from the garden. But I do get the French fried onions for the top because is it even green bean casserole without that? But Mimsy, how can you say that? She said it doesn't sound good. What? We have literally, no, we haven't literally, but like, you have to hurry up and get green bean casserole around my house or you're not getting any at all. Well, and that's true. It can be too salty and not everybody makes it the same. I have been to Thanksgivings where my green bean casserole was all gone and the other two green bean casseroles were not touched. And I don't like to brag or nothing, but maybe mine is not that salty. Maybe that's what it is. But I can't believe y'all don't like a green. Am I the only one? Oh no, I make mine thick and creamy and yum yum. But I do love some cheesy potatoes and some cabbage and stuffing with gravy, mashed potatoes, homemade yeast rolls. Nobody said deviled eggs either. Are y'all awake today? Nobody said green bean casseroles or deviled eggs. And I thought we had so much in common. Mimsy said maybe it's a southern thing. It might be. Come to think of it, when we go up to Vermont, that they've never made a green bean casserole, so maybe it is. I don't know. Deviled eggs are a summer thing up there. Okay. Mary Jo said, or dumplings. If I don't fix dumplings, my family would be very sad. That sounds delicious. Homemade cranberry sauce. That sounds delicious. I make a cranberry relish. And typically, like, really only me and my daughter eat it, but I make enough to, like, she can take some home and I can have some to eat, like, for the next week. And it is just so tart and refreshing and delicious. Donna says, I love green bean casserole and squash. You love green bean casserole with squash in it? Or you love green bean casserole and you love squash? I've never had it with squash in it. Oh, now sweet potato casserole with marshmallows. My daughter makes that and it's delicious. Ooh, a sweet potato pie with caramelized pecan topping. Yes. Now I'm going to be craving all this stuff for a week. Ah, Michelle says, I'm originally from Massachusetts and we love green bean casserole. It's not just a southern thing. Yes. She loves deviled eggs too, but my favorite is the day after turkey sandwich. Ooh, that is really good, right? Separate. Okay, Donna. All right, good. I was like, I've never had a green bean casserole with squash mixed in it, but it's worth trying. I know. Darlene says I'm getting hungry now. Me too, Darlene. Egg custard. Do you know what? My great grandmother used to make some custard. She was funny. Do you know what I'm saying? I have her recipe for custard, but nothing ever tastes like the way she did it. Do you want to know why? She would tell you 97% of the recipe. Or she'd give you all the ingredients, but not tell you the correct order of step, or not, leave out a step or something. Do you know what I'm saying? So that when you made it, it tasted good, but it wasn't exactly the same as Gran's. Like, it smelled the same. It tasted close, but it didn't look exactly the same. Like, I wouldn't say she was trying to sabotage you, but I think she always wanted you to have a reason to come, because your stuff never turned out exactly quite like hers. Do you know what I'm saying? Dan said my aunt did that all the time. I have a feeling my grand's not the only one who ever did that, but that was her plan. So, here's a little bit of sad news. I say it's sad news. Um, One day last week, I forget, or it was Saturday during the day before I started getting sick. Um, the person for our local Gazette newspaper came by to do an interview. And I have my picture in the paper and a little news article in the paper that came out yesterday. And it is the most horrible picture. Has that ever happened to you? Like someone posted a picture of you, like maybe on Facebook or something, and you're like, that is not a good picture at all. Like, I wish they wouldn't post that on there. Um, it's not a good picture, y'all. I don't know how many people get this newspaper, but hopefully everyone's busy with Thanksgiving and they forget to get their copy. Show it. Nope. I would rather stab myself in the throat with these little snips. No. And I've only seen the online version. I guess I'll go up into town and get an actual paper because I'd love to know what the article said. But, you know, online you only get to read so much and then you have to subscribe. I'd rather just have a paper, buy a paper and have like a physical copy of it. But you didn't get to read the whole article. But my picture was on there. I knew it wasn't going to be a good picture. And I tried to tell her, but it's not a good picture. Now, when the lady came to do the article about the farm stand, that was a phenomenal picture. She took a really good picture. This was not a good picture. Thank you, Kay. Yes, I'm excited about this tour. Um, I'm excited to see, if people get excited about what they see. Do you know what I'm saying? I hope they do. I'm not going to say the name of the paper. Not this time, y'all. Nope. Not this time. I will gladly tell y'all so you can go look online any other time. That's what I said, Darlene. She kept taking the same picture over and over and over again. And I was like, don't you think that that's not a good... Don't you think we should, like, maybe if I stand next to this quilt right here and you could take my picture? And she's like, no, stand in the middle of your room and let me get the whole big thing. And I'm like, it's not a good picture. It's not. It is a bummer. But, you know, it is what it is. But I am super excited about the tour. And, you know, if I had to get sick, I'm glad I got sick and I'm getting over it. Do you know what I mean? Um, Lance says we all have a driver's license like that. I have like 4 of them like that. That's like my 7th grade yearbook picture. I will never forget that picture. It was horrible. And I had the worst haircut, and I didn't realize it was picture day that day. And it's ridiculous. If there is someone who doesn't get amazed by your work, they are nuts. Oh, y'all are so sweet. Thank you. It should be fun. I think I'd like to have, you know, something like stitching on the embroidery machine. I would like to do like demos or something when people come by. Um, Maybe some painting on fabric or something I'll be working on. And did I complete the painting of the boat? I did. It is hanging up on the wall in the dining room. That was fun. Daniel, don't tell me you went and looked it up. Was that from my mom? No, so I did one from my mom's picture. She took a picture of a workboat in Pocosin a couple years ago, and the picture's on her Facebook. And so she gave me permission to use her picture, and I did. That one is like 50% embroidery and 50% paint. And then, what was that, like a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, I drew out a dead rise boat. And so we're in a water community, right? And lots of watermen make their living on the water. And a dead rise boat is like a workboat that they would use. And so I think it would be really popular around here, right? So I drew it out. And then I did 2 things. I drew it in GIMP and printed it, sublimated it, so I have it that way. And then I free motion quilted around it. And then I digitized it and it stitched all the black lines, and I went in with acrylics and fabric medium and painted it. So I did it 2 different ways. But that was just a picture I created. And then that was like a year ago, right? It's close to a year ago, I did the one of my mom's picture. That might be a dead rise too. I can't tell. You would love to see the finished one. I have pictures on my Facebook. I have my leggings on today, so there will be no getting up and walking around today. But I did post pictures of it all finished up on my Facebook. Speaking of Facebook, you could just see it. See that right there? Today I quilted, I don't know if y'all remember that. It's a 9-patch quilt with a Dresden plate on every other block. And I absolutely love the fabrics that I made that quilt with. I totally forgot how beautiful those fabrics are. I got it quilted today, and we made that like 5 years ago. And I'm pretty sure I got a finished picture on my Facebook. Hold on a second. Dun, 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 dun. Scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. Oh, I also quilted my mystery medallion quilt from like 5 years ago. And I got my Lone Star quilt from Patreon quilted. What else? Oh, lots of smaller things I got quilted. You have to keep scrolling, Mimsy, all the way to November the 13th. There's a picture. There's actually a picture of 6 things on my table. The top 2, the one on the left is my sublimated version of it, and the one on the right is my painted version. November the 13th. Jana says, I used to make green bean casserole 40 years ago. Don't you want to make one this year? So my cream of mushroom soup. So we go to Sam's Club and buy a great big case of mushrooms. And then I chop them all up and I can them. So we have mushrooms on hand all the time, right? But you could do it from fresh mushrooms too. Okay, so cut your mushrooms however big you want. Throw some butter in a, I was going to say a skillet, but like a soup pot. Some butter. I don't know how much to tell you because it depends on how much you want to make. Like half a stick of butter, okay? And for every cup of cream you're going to add a tablespoon of all-purpose flour. So butter in the soup pot, like a medium white onion chopped goes in there. Cook your onion a little bit, then throw your mushrooms in there, cook those down a little bit. And once your onions and your mushrooms are cooked down some, add tablespoon of all-purpose flour for every cup of like half and half you're going to add to it. And cook your flour some, right? Cook the flour, and then add your cream to it. And salt and pepper. Yummy. Do I have a lot of things to bind? I've kind of been binding as I go along, except for I have these 3 things to bind. Little trivets made from the quilt blocks we've made here on at some point or another, right? Isn't that pretty? And then my Lone Star quilt needs a binding. And then that Dresden quilt, now it's dark back there, you can't see it, needs a binding. I think that's it off the top of my head. But I still have a lot of stuff I could quilt, and so I'm gonna give it like tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday. Whatever I get done, I get done. Because the show's not only the weekend of Thanksgiving, it's also the following weekend. And so that gives me an additional week to add more stuff to it, you know? So I'm going to stop stressing out because I do have a lot of stuff to show right now. Do you know what I mean? And then after the first weekend, I have several days before the next go around where I can finish up more stuff. Don said, Lisa the finisher. I want to tell y'all, Darlene has sparked us all and motivated us all to become finishers of our stuff. And you know what? I used to say, oh, I don't have that much stuff that's not finished. But I really did. I had, it was out of sight, out of mind. It was packed in bins, which I think bins are a great way to organize. But out of sight, out of mind. And that is no kidding. Like when I opened up that one bin, there was so much in there that I had completely forgotten about that dress template quilt. That was a happy surprise in there. I had forgotten about it. And then, yeah, so I went from thinking I don't have a lot of bigger quilts to show, and now I have a whole bunch. Marlon just got home. So yeah, that was fun, doing a little prompt. I think that's a good idea when I don't have lots to talk about, y'all. Darlene has done 18 table runners. 18 table runners. I am so proud of you. Well, that's true. Moving from house to house, that did not help because a lot of stuff got put in those bins to make the move, and the bins just got stashed away. Do you know what I mean? So it's not totally my fault. Here comes Harlan. All right, y'all. Well, I hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And all the food you listed sounds delicious. I'm a little bit surprised that not as many of you like green bean casserole, but that's okay. I'm not going to hold it against you. I love you anyway. I hope you all, if you're traveling, please be safe. Please be careful. If you're anywhere where it's cold or messy outside, stay in and bundle up. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your friends. Maybe even enjoy a nice, quiet, alone afternoon. Who knows? Right? Sometimes that sounds lovely, doesn't it? Of course, that's coming from a total introvert. I hope no matter what your plans are, that you have a wonderful, wonderful week. I will miss you. I'm thinking about doing a little walkthrough at some point during the studio tour so you can at least see, you know, how I set stuff up. I think that's fun. But I will miss seeing you next Friday. No more hints on the present project. Just that someone, and I don't even see them here today, has guessed what the next thing is. At some point or another, they did. But I'm not gonna say what it is. But in Clue 13, you might start to figure that out. So there's something to look forward to. Bye, everybody. I will see y'all relatively soon. Bye.
In the quiet of the evening light, with needles dancing, stitching inside each patch of story, every thread unbinding love and fabric where we belong. Every stitch a whispered prayer, in every corner I find you there. Oh, sweet patchwork of our days, stitched together in so many ways, with every thread our lives entwined in this quilted love, our hearts aligned. Embroidered dreams in hues so bright, a quilted heart holding me at night. I'd